What's up, everyone? Today I want to talk about something that's going on through quite a lot in the fitness community. People talk about it a lot, and on YouTube more and more people are starting to talk about it, and it's like the idea of performance versus aesthetics. Like, you have to either pick one or the other, and which is better, which is what you should do, blah blah blah. First of all, I think that if you train purely for performance, most of the time you will get a semi-aesthetic looking physique, barring any ridiculous genetic faults like huge insertions in your chest or anything like that. But along with that, you still have to think about diet, macros, everything. Or if you didn't, then every strongman would look amazing, every powerlifter would look amazing, which isn't the case. But if you look at people in lower weight classes and stuff, they normally do look pretty damn aesthetic. Same with American football players, any sort of combat strength athletes, they do look pretty good. But on top of that, I think it's not a versus argument, it's not one or the other. You can both get an aesthetic physique and have extremely good performance. So going along the way, you see some people that are bodybuilders and they'll do nearly everything on machines, unilateral machines for chest, for overhead press, delt raises, pec deck, all of that stuff. Whereas I think you can get a lot of the same benefits from doing those movements with more athletically based, performance based movements. Like, for example, swapping a seated shoulder press machine or seated shoulder press with dumbbells for push press or even strict press. I mean, strict press isn't as athletically helpful as a push press or a behind the neck push press, but it's still pretty good. It's better than a seated press, and you'll get the same sort of shoulder development. Like, you'll get good shoulder development on a seated press, even if it's like a fixed position one. That is true. You can see that, but you're not going to get the same benefits. You're not going to be as strong, you're not going to be able to move things as much, you're not going to have as much explosiveness, anything like that, as you would doing these other movements. So I believe that you should mix and match, because if you look back, and I don't know so much about new days, I'm not big on bodybuilding these days, but back in the 70s and the 80s and stuff with, Lou Ferrigno and Arnold and people like that, they did a lot of really, the basic athletic power movements: deadlifts, bench press, overhead press, rows, squats, and that's what they base their stuff on. Sometimes I see people like that I'm not really acquaintances with, but I know them, and they want to be bodybuilders, or they want to be a natural bodybuilder or whatever, and their whole leg routine is based around machines. They'll do leg press, leg extensions, leg curls, blah 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 blah, and there's no squat involved, which is just insane to me. Because playing American football, I know guys that pretty much all you would do is squat, deadlift, bench, power clean, maybe some overhead press, that kind of stuff. Every now and again you'll throw in some heavy dumbbell curls just because everyone wants arms. But they have ridiculous quad sweeps, teardrops, all of that, and it's all from squatting. And that's what you can build tremendous legs from squatting. And then if you put in a few other things as well to make your program tailored more towards what you would call bodybuilding, then yeah, do it. But I think sticking to the main movements as the basis around any program, which all top experts will agree that's the point, that's the best way to do it, you will get good results. I never understand when people will want to look like someone that could bench press 200 kilograms, but they can only bench press like 110. Why wouldn't you just do the movement to get yourself to that level where you look like someone with these big ass legs that could squat 250 kg or whatever, but they can't do anything near that. They're doing everything on leg press and leg extensions. If all you care about is how you look completely, you don't have any desire for strength or performance, then yeah, go ahead, crack on, it's your prerogative. But I don't think many people are like that. I don't think anyone who trains and is in what on lifting and that kind of stuff doesn't want to be strong. I haven't come across anyone like that myself in my job as a trainer, or with the people that I've worked out with in the different things I've done, like combat sports, American football, you know, even basketball, strongman, powerlifting. There's no one in that. I mean, I know I've never been involved in bodybuilding as such, but I train a couple of amateur bodybuilders, and I've got friends who are aspiring bodybuilders, and they still want to be strong, even though they're going for aesthetics. So I think everyone should think about how they're tailoring their programs around and what's going to give them the most, because at the end of the day as well, when you come down to it, if you are like legitimately a natural athlete, not someone who's YouTube natty or half natty or whatever, if you literally do take nothing that can be described as a PED, then you need to be lifting heavy a lot to get the muscle you want to build and you want to put on yourself, and doing the kind of movements like the basic squat, deadlift, push press, bench press, bent over rows, etc., chin-ups, dips, whatever. They're the ones that are going to get you strong enough to then move bigger weights, to put on more muscle, etc., etc. Because this idea that you can get strong without building muscle is nonsense as well. At a certain level, your neural efficiency isn't going to get any better. You're just going to build up more muscle, and the hypertrophy you build will then make you stronger, and that's what happens. So I think everyone that's, you know, thinking seriously about training needs to sit down and think, am I tailoring my program around what needs to be done? A mixture of what will give you aesthetics and what will give you performance, because they're not like different ideas. They're not completely separate. There's nothing that says it's a new idea that is a separate thing. There's nothing that says you have to either be really, really high level performance, strong as hell and look like crap, or be weak and can't do anything but look great. Nothing's ever said that. It's just become a thing now that young guys seem to think that aesthetics is everything, and you can't get that by doing performance-based stuff. So yeah, sit down, look at your program and think, what can I change here that's a bit more athletically helpful, that will help my performance and therefore help my strength and my ability to build muscle, and go from that. But that's all I've got to say on it. You don't have to listen to what I say, of course. It's just my opinion and what I think will help the most people. Like the video if you found this helpful. If you didn't like it, dislike it. I don't care, it's fine. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Safe. Peace.